Hi, Scott Orlin with Cinema Magazine. It is my pleasure for the movie Joy to bring you its director, David O. Russell.
What's your magazine here?
Well, it's Cinema Online. It's
Oh,
a
I see.
German
Okay.
publication.
Okay.
Let me ask you, of the myriad of possibilities of which a director could tap in to tell a story, what was so special about this woman, Joy? What do you think that for you to invest your time and to tell this story?
Well, first of all, to me, it's really a story about the emotion joy when you're a child and you're playing in snow or with creations in your room, and then what happens when you get married, that euphoria, and then what happens when you're divorced and you have to collect your life as a single mother and start an endeavor that will try to be taken away from you. Any worthy endeavor, many people will try to take it away from you if it's worth anything. And to have a very mature, kind of forgiving, benevolent power, what is that joy? That's the question of the movie. And that interested me a lot, that story of a woman, a formidable woman, who was quiet and forgiving and powerful in the end, and who started out as this little girl. That interested me a lot. The other thing is that this particular Joy, who inspired the story, is sort of an unpretentious person who made things that were not pandering. They were unglamorous. They were ordinary, but very well made, and that many people, middle-class people, love to buy. And they are not internet things. They're things that people hold in their hands, whether it's a clothes hanger or a clothes steamer, a traveling steamer, or a special mirror, traveling mirror, or whether it's a folding toiletry kit that I use that's remarkable, or whether it's the mop. She's made 100 record-setting inventions. What is the truth of that success? People don't really understand, I think, how relentless and difficult it is, and how big her spirit was in the end, how forgiving to her family and to her adversaries.
Let me ask you, having gone through The Fighter, where you actually had to bring in like fight consultants to get your actors ready for this, how much did you know about the right way to showcase a mop? I mean, what's going through?
To me, like I said, though, it's like, the same thing with American Hustle. Did I make American Hustle because I was dying to make a film about ab scam? Not really. To me, ab scam was like the engine of the story that was really about fascinating human beings and their love of life and their love of survival and how they continue to get up and love life. The mayor, the FBI agent, the con artist and his girlfriend, the wife of the con artist. I mean, there's just so many amazing characters. So in this picture, it's the people. The father who runs the metal garage, Robert De Niro, a scrap metal truck and bus garage. The mother who watches soap operas relentlessly, Virginia Madsen. I got to shoot those soap operas with icons of soap operas. Edgar Ramirez wanting to be a singer. Jennifer Lawrence speaking Spanish. Jennifer Lawrence carrying power quietly. In my 3 films I've done with her, it's the first time she's carried power that way.
And you got her to sing.
And singing, which she is, I didn't realize she had done it in a Hunger Games movie, and, I didn't know that, because I only watched the first one, which I thought was very powerful and disturbing, and too close to the truth. But I think she has a lovely voice, and I love that it's her real voice. That was part of her marriage euphoria.
And let's just talk about Jennifer right now, because what's interesting is there's almost old school in the way as a director and actors. This ensemble that you keep going back and using in different capacities. How much of a shortcut is that? Is there something is she a muse to you in a sense? Does she inspire you as a filmmaker?
Yes, I absolutely write for Jennifer. This endeavor was something that we considered together as a team. We said, do we want to tell the story of this woman together? That could be an inspirational story, and you could play 4 different ages, 18, 25, 27, 30, 45, and what would that be like? And we said, let's do that. How would we do that? We started to talk about her dream life and her heartbreak and the location where heartbreak turns into something else. To me, the biggest inspiration of all is that horrible things don't have to always just be final. They can happen to you and they can become something else if you're willing to let them. Jennifer just is that kind of person. So Jennifer and I share that resilience or humor about ourselves and about life, and we also share a sort of emotional We're moved by similar things, and we find similar things beautiful. So she is a muse for me. So is Bradley Cooper. My dad was a salesman. When you're putting bread on your family's table, there's nothing really jokey about it. You know, it's very serious. So we liked him being serious as a heart attack as a guy who ran this little cable station. And I'd never seen The Best Divorced Couple in America. That was a movie I'd never seen. So Jennifer I write for, Bradley, yes, and Robert De Niro, who without him, the endeavor with the girlfriend who has the money, Isabella Rossellini, none of it happens. Even though he becomes an obstacle later. None of the thing would happen. That's how life is. The enabler becomes the obstacle. But you have to remember, there's also Isabella Rossellini, Diane Ladd, Edgar Ramirez, Dasha Polanco, Elizabeth Rome, and Virginia Madsen. These are all new people I had never worked with. In addition to, Bill Thorne, these local character actors who are extraordinary, Ken Chessman, the men she had to face when she went to California and had to, there's always a middleman who's going to try to steal your business. It happened to my father. Whoever's printing your books or making your molds or freezing your foods can suddenly have a lot of power because they have the facility that does the production. So suddenly they can somehow take over billing and ownership. And I saw it happen to my dad, who sold children's books, and had them printed in India and in Scotland. And suddenly the printers were taking away the business. And you have to be a bit fierce and a bit of a gangster to make your business survive. And I wanted that to be told as well.
Thank you for being fierce and a bit of a gangster and making this movie, David. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
And this is Scott Orlin.
Thanks, buddy.